So hello guys, how are you doing? Sharif over here, and I'm back with another video. As you know guys, that I've just come from Nairobi, and in this video I've brought to you 5 things that I found interesting as a first-time traveler in Nairobi, and of course a Ugandan. So I just want to give you my experience as a Ugandan in Nairobi, and without wasting any of your time, let's dive into this amazing video right now. So guys, the first thing that I'm going to be talking about in this video, that it was like a shock, and it was my first time seeing it like within all of my life. It is the matatu culture in Kenya, Nairobi. Dang, these guys have vibe. Talking about the matatu, these are like colorful minibuses with loud music, with a lot of like disco lights inside, and the locals seem to be fine with it. But you who is like a first-time traveler, you may find it offensive or weird, but this is the culture in Nairobi. If it is rating it, I would give it a 10 out of a 10. Though my first time like boarding it, I did get like some, like, how can I say, like, okay, like the language barrier. Even these guys tended to take like more money, which they didn't have to take from me, but it was fine with me. I did okay like find the matatu culture as okay like transportation, but it is also like moving street art. Another point that I'm going to be talking about in this video, of course, it is the Nairobi National Park. This is a park whereby they do have like a lot of like wildlife to visit, starting from the giraffes, rhinos, and a lot of other like animals. What I love most about this like exercise, it is feeding the giraffes, also taking some pictures with the giraffes. The giraffes were so friendly. I thought that they are going to be wild to us, but they were so friendly. You just had to get like those like small foodies of the giraffes and feed them, then take some pics. And the second thing that blew up my mind in the Nairobi National Park, it is that the national park is just like next to the skyline, the city skyline. It is not okay like so common in most cities here in like Africa, but in Nairobi it is the first like city that I've seen this a national park like next to a city skyline. That was also very amazing, because back in Uganda we do have our like national park in Entebbe. That is like, it has okay like it is somehow like a big distance from the city center to the game park. So if you're looking forward to visiting Nairobi like I did, make it a point to visit the national park in Nairobi, because it has very like amazing things, because back in Uganda we don't have okay like have that chance to interact with the wildlife, because we take it okay like, should I say, for safety like purposes, but in Nairobi you do get a chance to interact with a lot of different animals, and these animals, they are not okay like dangerous. The third point that I'm going to be talking about, and it is one of my favorite hobbies to do, it is the street foods in Nairobi. It's not okay like only the street foods, but I've decided to put it under all the foods under the street foods, because the street foods, it's where I die from. I do like okay like street foods. Even back in Uganda, I tend to go always out to take okay like different things, and one of the best things that I did find out like delicious here in Kenya, it is the nyama choma. Back in Uganda we do okay like have roasted like different kinds of meat, but here in Kenya I did find out that it was so spiced, and beef was okay like tender at flavor, which was so amazing. So I did like the nyama choma in Kenya. I did try out with a lot of like different dishes, like the ugali back in Uganda we do call it posho, but I also found out that the ugali in Kenya, it is not okay like the ugali in Uganda. I don't know how they do make it, but they do make it perfectly. Have you ever been there like seated thinking, and you're like, where was the first chapati made? Dang, this time round I was at the coast, and I did experience the real taste and flavor of a chapati, and the chapatis were so soft. They are so like good. They were so like with that goldy brown like color, and I also liked it. If you're not a kind of person who okay like is so much in love with the street foods, cause most of the people say that I can't eat okay like street foods that I don't know cause I'm not used to them. They'll give me something like a stomach ache, something like that. People have like allergies. You can try like the local restaurants with the international restaurants in Kenya, Nairobi. They do have a lot of like different restaurants, from the French restaurants. They have even Ugandan restaurants where you can go for your matoke, yeah, your smashed matoke. You can go for your katogo and a lot of different dishes. So if you're not a person who likes like street foods, try checking out the local restaurants with the international restaurants. Fourth point that I'm going to be talking about in this video, of course, it is going to be about the business and hard working of the people of Kenya. Yeah, these guys do okay like get involved in a lot of like practices to earn a living, from vendoring onto the streets and cooking. There is like business people like working in the banks, and just know when the sun comes out from the sky and it's another day, you're going to look out of your window from the hotel where you're sleeping, and already the streets of Kenya are crowded with people making business, people trying to earn a living. And this puts me to a point that is why Kenya, I think it is moving like fast, because people like working and people love their country. The last point that I want to talk about, it is okay like the people with a vibe in Kenya, Nairobi. Back in Uganda, when we were still like studying, that was I think my primary. I don't know how the primary okay like is called in the other countries, but I think you can take it to as grade 1, grade 2, something like that. We used to study that these people of like the coast do have like that welcoming, like we used to call it warm welcoming, that these people are friendly, these people okay like they don't mind where you're coming from. If you come, you're already part of them if you show them love and if you do what you have to do. Yep. I also love the fact that these guys do recognize Ugandans like fast, cause I think they do okay like recognize us from the accent. Yeah, it is not okay like bragging, but that is it. Cause when one of the Kenyans hears you like speaking English to him or her, he will first be like, "Are you from Uganda?" And you'll be like, "Yes, how have you known?" And this guy must say that, I can hear the accent, cause why not? So the people of Kenya are so friendly, and they have that warm welcoming from the people in the markets, people like vending, shopkeepers, the Uber drivers. I love the fact that the Uber drivers, if they recognize that you're not a person who is from that country, they will take you along. If you're passing any tower, they will tell you that this tower is called that and that. That is where okay like the headquarters of Qatar are. That is where like the main like bank is, and they will give you a lecture of Kenya when you're just seated in their Uber for free. Why is the weather in Nairobi so amazing? Because I found out that the weather in Nairobi, it is not okay like too hot, and it is not okay like too cold. It is something which is moderate. Something which is moderate, not okay like back in Uganda. Back in Uganda, if it says that it's to shine, man, it does shine. And if it says it's going to rain, it does rain. But back in Kenya, the weather, it is moderate, and it's okay like it favors a lot of like businesses, a lot of like practices to be done. I also love the fact that the aeration back in Kenya, it is a top notch, cause you reaching Kenya, there is a way that you inhale in and you'll be like, wow, this like air that I'm breathing, it is somehow fresh compared to where I come from. Because in Kenya, there are things that they no longer use, like the plastic bags. Yeah, they do not use plastic bags. They do use paper bags, even if it's packing their sugar, even if it's packing, okay, like something when you go to the market or the supermarket, they do provide you a paper bag. So guys, it has come to the end of this video where I was talking about the 5 things that blew up my mind in Kenya, Nairobi, and honestly I did find a lot of things, yeah, while I visited Nairobi, Kenya, and I just can't wait to go back and I experience more. So guys, if you have ever visited Kenya, please comment in the comment section what part of Kenya did you love most, and if you have never visited Kenya, what are some of the things and what are some of the places that you want to visit first when you land in Kenya, Nairobi. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe, be free to share out the video with friends and family, and let me see you in my next video. I'll be uploading up soon. Remain Sharif. Let me see you in my next video. I'll be uploading up soon. Sharif switching out. Bye.